Hi guys, welcome back to the Crypto Bite. If you are new to this channel, welcome. I'm Selena Vidya, and the goal of the Crypto Bite is to share different cryptocurrency investing information, cryptocurrency trading, talk about different blockchain companies, apps, news, whatever it is in the crypto space. What I'm going to talk to you about today is something that I get asked a lot, which is what do I do when the market is down? I know it sucks when the market is down because you don't really want to sit on your hands, but you don't really want to sell what you're holding because you're going to take a loss. So I'm going to give you a couple of tips on what to do if you have nothing to do. So the first tip is don't sell. You should use this opportunity to take a look at past trends that have happened. So this time last year, was the market down? Was the market up? Is it a cyclical thing? When the brain wants to act out of urgency and sell because it starts getting fearful that you're losing money, the best way to tame that is to use actual data. So go back, see what it was like last year. I know a lot of the downturns that we've had have actually matched what they were last year and the year before. So give your brain the information it wants. Go back, look at past data, see the trends, see if it's cyclical, and if it is, then you don't have to freak out. The next tip that I have is going back to some of your investing fundamentals. So I don't know how many of you have invested in the past in the traditional stock market or how many of you have any kind of investing background, but another great thing you can do when the market is down is to take the time to freshen up on some of your investing fundamentals, or if you jumped into cryptocurrency and you're learning as you go back and learn some of the traditional stuff. You'll be surprised how much learning that stuff will actually help you in the cryptocurrency space. I know it seems like cryptocurrency is wildly different from the traditional stock market because the volatility is extreme. I mean, one day it's extremely high and the next day it's closing at a really low price. But there are a lot of the same things. So if you can go and understand that, then when you use a platform like Binance or Bittrex or HitBTC, you'll be able to understand the language and the verbiage and what exactly you're able to do in this space. So I highly suggest going back and looking and learning some of the investing fundamentals. So the next thing that I have kind of piggybacks into my previous point, which is using something called TradingView. So if you use anything like HitBTC, Bittrex, Binance, any of the platforms that I've mentioned in the past, you'll notice that you're able to chart any of the coins, and usually that's pulled in through an API from something like TradingView. So TradingView basically lets you pick a coin, so you could pick Ethereum, let's just say for sake of keeping it simple, and you can chart it and use different indicators. You can start using trend lines, you can start using support and resistance lines, you can use MACD indicators, you can use EMA, you can use all of these things that allow you to kind of see the progress and start understanding what the signals are when a price is going to go up, what the signals are when a price is going to go down. TradingView is a paid platform, but I think you can get a free account and you can use up to 3 indicators. So it's a great place to start, and it's a great place to just chart and understand some of the terminology there. And if you are going back to your investing fundamentals and looking at some technical analysis, a lot of what you read there is going to be able to be applied into TradingView because they're all based off the same thing. So the next thing that you can do is look at your existing strategy, and if you don't have a strategy in place, you can figure out what that strategy looks like. And what I mean by strategy is when you're investing in a coin, let's say it hits a certain amount of profit. What percentage of profit are you going to allow it to get to before you take out your principal? So if you have a coin that has gained 25%, are you at the point where you're going to take your principal out, or is that not a number that you're comfortable with yet? So figuring out all of these things will help you in the future, and it'll help you get really clear on what to stick to and give yourself kind of a step-by-step of what to do. I know it doesn't really sound sexy to have a strategy into place where you do this and do that and do this when you're investing, but honestly, that will make all the difference. If you have a strategy that you're following, you're able to make clear, concise decisions, and you're not just basing it off of your emotional state of mind. Another part of the strategy that you can consider is how long do you actually want to hold a coin for? If you have a coin and it gains that 25% in 2 days, is that a coin that you want to hold on to for the long term once you take out your principal? Is that a coin that you want to just sell out, get your profit and your principal out and not come back to? Or is that something you want to hold on to for a little bit longer and then end up selling? So that's another thing that you can do when you're not actively trading, but you still want to do something. The next thing that I suggest is going and researching different companies that you're interested in. So if you've heard about an ICO that's coming out, go back, research that company, research their team, research if there's a market fit for what they're doing, look and see who is actually on their board, who is giving them feedback. All of these things are going to be necessary as you're moving forward in understanding whether or not you want to invest in a company that's newer. And I'll talk about this in depth at a later period of time. But if you have the time now, looking at different companies, looking at different sectors and industries is a great way to just see how things actually perform when they go from ICO stage to being in the market where people are actively trading. So in the traditional stock market, when there's an IPO, the price is usually a little bit higher than what it ends up settling down at that release date. But with an ICO, if you're tracking a couple of them, see what the ICO price is. So if you were to buy in pre-ICO, what is that number? See what it actually opens up to the public at, and then see how it fares. Does it stay pretty consistent? Does it increase? Does it stay really stagnant and slightly decrease? So once you get a sense of what an ICO opens at versus what it ends up being in the market when people are actively trading it, that'll give you a good sense as to whether you actually want to participate in any pre-ICO sales or if you just want to wait until it goes into the open market. And the last thing you can do is you can play with fake money. So there's an app called Fantasy Crypto where you can essentially go in and you have $1 million to start, and you can buy, sell to your heart's content. You can get all of the risk out of your body and make super risky moves. You can take the strategy that we were talking about earlier and you can actually implement that into fantasy cryptos. You can get a sense of how things are performing in the long term when you stick to that strategy, and you can just follow other people on there and see what they're doing. I think that's also awesome for people who aren't investing and they just want to get their feet wet, but it's also really useful for people who are investing in the real world and they want to test out some of their strategies on coins before they actually put their money behind it. So I know that was a ton of information and there's a lot of different things you can do when the market is down and you're not trading. Hopefully something in there resonated with you. If you have something else that you really like to do when you're not actively buying or selling, drop them in the comments. I'd love to hear it. You can find the Crypto Bite on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. So if you enjoyed this video, hit subscribe. That way you'll be able to keep up with any of the future videos. If you are subscribed and you haven't hit the little bell, I don't know where it is on the screen, hit that so that you get notified when the next video comes out. For now, I will leave you be to go test out these different things that we talked about, and I will see you in the next video.